todos, recibí la invitación y dije, pues Baños no haces 45 minutos de mi casa, so I'll make the effort to show up. So far, the congressional race is, it's just early on in the stages, as everybody knows. We've been reaching out to people to support our campaign. It's been going very well. Some of the biggest things that I really want to focus on is obviously immigration reform. It's something that I've been doing even as a mayor for the last couple of years. It's something that I think that we need to stop kicking the can down the road. I've been exploring some ideas of how we can figure out how to work through these visa issues, right? There's no real pathway to citizenship. Well, if you're from another country, there actually is. So we need to try to figure out how we can change that. Maybe with the existing laws that exist, just try to figure out how we can do that. But the only way that it's gonna really work is an act by Congress, and we all know this. And I think the people that are continue to be elected, it doesn't make a difference which party you are, whether you're Republican or Democrat. The promises have been there, but they've never followed through. Immigration reform should have been resolved 15 years ago, 20 years ago. You know, I'm only 41 years old at the moment, and every single time that I've gone out to vote, it's been, we're gonna push forward immigration reform, but it never happens. And here we are, we're in a different time, and we're trying to navigate through the issues that are happening in our country. And I think that that's one of the #1 priorities that I want to focus on. But as someone who, if I do win, obviously I'll be a rookie congressman, and it takes the ability of a lot of congress members to jump on a bill that would actually work for both parties. Because I mean, I understand that right now, the Republican Party has the House and the Senate. If it remains that way, maybe something can happen. But the same thing was 4 years ago where the Democrats had the House and the Senate as well, but we didn't see immigration reform. So there's some things that we have to navigate through. Another thing, just like the mayor had talked about in his city, you know, our city is 100 plus years old as well. And we're now just investing in infrastructure. And I think infrastructure is key, especially for rural communities that don't have the funding, that are smaller, that are chasing those dollars. Those are gonna be some of the priorities that I put forward as a congressman to make sure that these communities do receive the funding that they need. It's been a struggle for the city of Ceres because we compete with 9 other cities, but as a collaborative, we try to push forward some long-term ideas on how we're gonna fund those projects, and we all have to come together and make those decisions. Another thing is education. As a coach, I've been coaching for the last 10 years, and education is important because my father, he only went to the 9th grade, but he was successful. He's just retired as a truck driver, but he instilled those ideas that I have to work hard to get what I have. But as a person who, myself, I only took a couple courses in college because I was working as a fire technician. It kind of prohibited me from continuing college education, but one thing that I will tell you is that someone like myself was motivated enough to want to run for office and won in 2020 during the pandemic, and I became the mayor of the city of Ceres and just recently ran for re-election, and the voters have spoken and they said they wanted to give me another opportunity. So the first 4 years was just an opportunity to understand how the city ran, but now I know what the real needs are. And for a lot of communities that don't have sidewalks, as I grew up in a community without sidewalks, for 30, 40 years they haven't had them. So where are our priorities here in the Central Valley? I feel like every single time I go to these conferences and we talk about infrastructure and funding, the Central Valley always gets left behind. And I know there's a lot of people in this room that really find that to be one of the top priorities that we need to focus on, but we can only do this together. The community needs to be outspoken, and I think that mayors like myself and other mayors and elected officials that really are gonna rally behind this need that to be the one focus. And there's a lot of other things that are important, and water is key. Water is key for farming. Water is key. When I talk to these farmers, they really do care about their families that they employ, and they understand how important it is to put food on the table for America, and we need to make sure that we take care of those people that are helping us. And I think that you need to understand that, you know, during this time, it's just easy to walk into a grocery store, just pick out your fruits and vegetables, but a lot of us here have seen firsthand the hard work and dedication that it takes to actually pick those crops. And because I come from that background and my family worked in the fields, I understand that. And for those that don't, we just need to educate them so that they know how important that it is. So that's just something I can sit here all day and talk about, among other things. But I think my goal for Congress is to do what others haven't done in the past, and that is bring more funding for the Central Valley, to possibly, hopefully get on a bill that supports the idea of immigration reform. Once and for all, let it no longer be a talking point, no longer be in a political position that we need to use to gain voters and never come through. And once and for all, I think that it's a possibility we can accomplish that. And I also really want to thank everybody for being here, our folks here, especially a lot of Latinos. In 2020, in our community in Stanislaus County, we elected the most Latinos, Democrats and Republicans. And, I'm really proud of that. So we